Hello, everyone. I'm so sorry that I am late. Welcome to the Birthing Experience, episode 26. I'm your host, Nyala, Bybee Master Midwife for Coaches, and I'm so excited to be here with you guys this evening. Let me take a moment to share this episode out. I am going to share this in my Facebook group, the Business Law for Coaches, and then we're going to go ahead and jump into the content. So if it's your first time here, welcome. This is the Birthing Experience. We are here every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're also on all the podcast networks. And what we do is we bring you a new episode every week where we're helping you master your mindset, your messaging, your marketing, or your money. We also bring guest experts who come in and share their story and their expertise with us. So today we're going to be talking all about stop storytelling people to death, okay? Stop storytelling people to death. Now, most of you, or those of you who have been following me, sorry about that. Those of you who've been following me for a long time, you know that I'm all about storytelling. So it's actually pretty weird for me to be saying stop storytelling people to death. But in a minute, you're going to understand exactly what I mean when I say that, okay? Okay, so I shared this out in the group. Let's jump in. So stop storytelling people to death. Because I am the person that you come to when you want to put together a captivating story that sells. I'm somebody that teaches people how to do that, right? How to put together stories. And what I find is that once coaches figure out how to share their story and how to use their story to market their services, sometimes they go a little overboard. And so all the posts is just story after story after story. And while that is so great, it is really important to have a well-rounded content plan when you are looking to attract clients to your business. So really what we're talking about today is content, okay? Really what I'm going to be giving you guys is exactly how you want to create content. You know, I'm going to be sharing my Bybee Method with you guys. So if you've never heard it, make sure you stick around. I'm going to give you guys some examples of the type of content you want to put out. And again, if you're new to this show is definitely for coaches and consultants. Well, specifically, okay? So all the strategies that I share with you here is all about helping you get more clients in your business, okay? So take a moment, share this out if you know that you have coaches and service professionals who need this info, all right? And we're going to jump in. There are 3 things that your content needs to do. 3 things. I hope you guys are taking notes. So number 1, your content needs to connect, okay? Your content needs to connect, meaning it needs to connect you with your ideal clients, which is why a lot of people use stories, right? Because stories are a great way to connect with people, a great way to resonate with people and to attract your clients to you, but you can't just post stories. Your content needs to convert too, right? So if you're only posting stories, you're gonna have a hard time. There needs to be a mixture of that, okay? So let's start with connect. How do you connect? How do you create content that connects? Number 1, educational content, right? So when you post hey Anita, darling, how are you? Thanks for joining. When you post educational content, what happens is the only people who will gravitate towards that content is the people who need it. Okay, so like for example, what I just did here today, I'm teaching you guys about content. I'm teaching you guys about content marketing specifically for coaches. And the only people who are going to be interested in listening to me, whether you're here live or whether you're on the replay, is somebody who's going to find this information useful. So one way to really connect with your audience is by creating educational content. You know, I love to do challenges. That's another example. Challenges is a great way to create a community atmosphere. It's a great way for you to teach and share your value, right? And it's a great way for you to connect with your audience. Remember, your content needs to connect. That's number 1. Number 2, your content needs to position. Make sure you write that down. Your content needs to position. Your content needs to position you, the coach, all right? You as a thought leader. Your content needs to position you as a go-to person in your space, right? And so I want you guys to really think about this. If you are posting educational content, right? And it's not only educational, I'm gonna give you guys some more, examples, but if you're posting educational content, don't you think that's gonna start to position you if you stay consistent with that? Absolutely, it will. All right. And then number 3 is your content needs to convert, meaning it needs to sell. If people aren't taking action on your content, 1 or 2 things is happening. Number 1, either you're not giving enough direction, okay, because you got to give people direction. So either you're not giving enough direction, or two, your messaging in your content is not speaking to their emotions if they're not taking action on it, meaning your content is not converting. Okay, so let's recap that one more time. So your content needs to connect, it needs to position you, and it needs to convert. Those are the three things that your content needs to do. And while storytelling is great at selling, storytelling is great at connecting you with people, you really want to have more types of content in that content plan of yours so you can start to attract different types of people and you can stop storytelling people to death. Okay, all right, so let's talk about the next step. Okay, so I want to talk to you about my 5E method because I created this years ago and I have been using it. I still use this when it comes to my content, and it has really helped me do all the three things that I'm talking about: connect, position, and convert. So if you follow what I'm about to teach you, you will start to see more results when it comes to the type of content that you're putting out. Okay, so the 5E method is all about, number one, educate. Okay, so being a person, that's when I talked about educational content. So being someone that educates their audience. You can do this by educating them about your industry, educating them about your specialty, educating them about, statistics in your market, educating them with tools and resources that people in your market will use. So like for me, again, my ideal client are coaches and consultants, and there are specific tools that we use that other industries do not use. So I want to be able to be that person that's giving you that information, because see, what happens is if you're that person that's always giving that information, you start to position yourself as the go-to person in your niche, and that's what you want, right? If you're the person that's always giving that educational content, then people, when they have that problem that you solve, they're thinking about you. You're the first person they're thinking about because you're the one who's been giving them the value and helping them along the way. You see how that works? Now, let me just take a moment to stop and see if oh, thank you so much, Anita. You are the bomb, girl. Thank you. Okay, so, you want to make sure that you educate. Number two, empower, okay? People love to be inspired. People love to be motivated. People love to be in communities where they feel like, listen, this is where I'm going to come to get my daily dosage. This is what's going to keep me going to lose that weight. This is what's going to keep me going to write that book. This is what's going to keep me going to start this business. People want to be inspired and they want to be motivated. I want you guys to really think about the people who you enjoy, the people who you tap into every day. How are they inspiring you and motivating you? Okay. All right. Think about that, because you want to make sure that that's a part of your content. All right. Number three is entertain. Okay, you gotta entertain. I put a post out the other day where I said you can't bore people to buy your stuff. You can't bore people into buying your stuff, right? So you have to have some sort of entertainment there. And I'll give you a real example. So today I did something real crazy, right? So when I'm from Brooklyn, New York. And back in the day when I was younger, I could have sworn I was a freestyler, okay? They used to call me the Ill Nana to follow Foxy Brown because my name is Nyala. And I used to swear I could freestyle. And so today I decided to do a little freestyle because Nicki Minaj came out with a new song and they have a challenge happening. And I decided to see how can I bring some entertainment to my audience that fits my personality and that's just entertaining, right? And so when you have a mixture of content, that is when you start to, speak to people in different ways. Okay, so you ever see those pages, especially on Instagram, where you go to influencer pages and you just fall in love with them? They're not telling you stories every day. They're not only selling to you every day. They are not only giving you tips every day. There is a mixture of content. There's some entertainment there as well. All right, now you may not be someone like me that would do a rap or something, but family pictures. That's entertaining. I had a page that was hacked at the end of last year. And what I do is I create something called content buckets, okay? And this is just something a little extra. But I do something that's called content buckets. And what I do is I basically, especially with Instagram, I write down about 4 to 5 topics that my page would be focused on. And that's what I call content buckets, right? And under entertainment, one of the things that I did was I would put out food pictures because I'm someone that eats out at different types of restaurants. And whenever I'm going to restaurants, I'm always taking pictures of the food. So what I did is every 9 picture grid or 9 photo grid on Instagram, you would see 1 picture or of a plate of food, no matter, or from different restaurants. And that was my way of entertaining. I want you to think of Oprah, okay? And again, I told you I would give you guys real life examples, okay? So Oprah has her Soul Sundays where she does these interviews in her garden, okay? Well, one of the things you guys will see, which you probably didn't notice, but I noticed, is that on Sundays, she always puts out an arrangement from her garden, okay? Whether it's vegetables, flowers, whatever it is, she always puts something out on her Instagram page from her garden. That is also entertainment. She loves gardening. It's a part of her personality. So by sharing that piece with you, she is helping you connect with her. Does that make sense? I want you guys to give me a 1 in the chat box if that makes sense to you guys, okay? So something that is entertaining, everything that you put out don't have to be about business, right? Because you put out something entertainment in 1 hour and you get a whole lot of attention, and then in 2 hours you put out a promo post, and just like that, you beat the algorithm and you get more people seeing your promo post, just because you use that strategy of something entertaining. So I need you guys to understand why it's important to mix up your content, okay? So recap: educate, empower, entertain. Number 4 is engage. This one is really important because if people aren't engaging with your content, we have a problem, right? Because we already said your content is supposed to convert. It's supposed to prompt people to take action, whether it's to download, whether it's to join your group, whether it's to show up live, like I'm about to tell you guys right now. Hey, share this video out if you haven't done it yet. It is a call to action, and you want people to take action on it. We got to tell people what to do, and you have to create an engaging content. You have to create engaging content, an engaging atmosphere on your social media platforms, okay? So how do we do this? 1, questions, right? Really simple. You ask somebody a question, they give you an answer. Right? You ask somebody a question, they give you an answer. So questions is a great way. Fill in the blanks is another great way to create engaging content. Whatever you can come up with that's going to provoke engagement. Trendy topics, right? So sometimes there are topics, there are things that's going on in the world that we live in right now, and there are topics that we're talking about. Even something like that, you might put out a statement that's thought-provoking, and just like that, you start up and you spike up a conversation on your social media. What that does is it brings attention. When people are commenting on your post, that's a way of you fighting the algorithm, and the more people that comment on your post is the more your post is going to be seen. Your post will be seen by more people. So for those of you who've never really understood how the algorithms work or how you can beat the algorithms, then this is a way that you can do that. Okay, so post engaging content. So, and then number 5, right? So we gave you 4. We gave you educate, empower, entertain, engage. And now we're talking about number 5, which is expert. Right? So content that positions you as an expert. And I love to call this signature content. All right. So whenever I'm talking about my signature system, the Market Your Message formula, when I'm talking about creating that magnetic offer, when I'm talking about, creating that captivating story, when I talk about creating that presentation, all of that, that's my signature content, okay? So when I'm speaking about that, I speak about it as the expert that created a signature framework or a proven process for people to follow. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you may be new to me, join me in my Facebook group so you can start to learn some of these things. If you are a coach, you're expert, and you want to be able to be paid well for your expertise, you are going to have to create a proven process, okay? And when you do that, you now can pull content from there so you can start to put out content that positions you as an expert. Does that make sense? All right, so let's go through it. Oh, how could I forget this? Let me tell you what else positions you as an expert. Publish content. Okay, so if you got published on other people's blogs, maybe you write for Forbes, Huffington Post, those type of content that's also positions you as an expert. Speaking engagement, right? So if you're going and you're speaking, taking those pictures, putting that up. Hey, today I was speaking at such and such conference. We talked about mastering your message, all of that. That is examples. Those are examples of content that positions you as an expert. So now that I went through this Bybee method, I hope that you understand, or I hope that you can at least see what I meant when I said stop storytelling people to death. There are other pieces of content that you can put out there that will give you a well-rounded social media that people want to come out and hang out on. Not only that, when you follow what I'm showing you today, what happens is you get to sell more. So here's my final tip for you guys before I leave you today, okay? So my final tip is that there's a number one rule that you need to follow, and that rule is the 80-20 rule, okay? That rule is the 80-20 rule, and let me tell you what that rule says, okay? So that rule says follow 80% my 5E method and 20% promotional content. Write that down. So 80% my 5E method and 20% promotional content. And so what that means is if you create 10 posts for the week, then I expect 8 of those posts to follow the 5E method that I just shared with you, and the other 2 posts to be promotional posts. But here's the kicker, or is kicker the right word, or the exciting part? Here's the exciting part. When you follow the 5E method, you're able to squeeze promotions in there, right? Because if I was to give you a tip and tell you, your content is supposed to do 3 things. It's supposed to connect, position, and convert, right? So if you want to learn how to create content that's going to help you do that, join my webinar that's happening on Wednesday. So do you see how I can give you some content, I can give you some tips, I can give you that value, but I can still throw that call to action in there. So what happens is following what I'm teaching you today allows you to also sell more, okay? So those of you who are with me live, I want you guys to just give me a yes below if you found this useful. I definitely want you to share this out on your page. And number 3, if you are someone who wants to be able to get more clients, I have a free 3-day workshop series. It's happening next week, the 16th, 17th, and 18th, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And we're going to be going through the roadmap to more clients, okay? So for 3 days, you have to register. So let me just put that out there. If you don't register, you will not get it, because this is not something that's happening live, and it's not something that's happening in our Facebook group. So this is something where you're going to get the trainings delivered to your email every day. Now, I may do some free Q&As, some little bonus stuff. Y'all know how I do, for those of you who know, right? So I may do some of that, but for the most part, the workshop series is going to be sent to your email, so you're going to have to register for it. So I just put the link below, and it's absolutely free. So definitely come and join us for that workshop. It's all about getting more clients, okay? All right, so this has been the Birthing Experience episode 26. I'm so excited to be able to come to you guys every week to give you this content. Make sure that you come back next week, Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.